is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Mohamed Bamba for the Orlando Magic. This was the guy that was a project coming into the NBA draft as a teenager, only 21 years old. He turned 22 in a couple months, and he has finally played over 35 games this season. We've seen him play 47 last year. He didn't really contribute much last year or this year, which is kind of crazy that he hasn't really been able to get on the floor. But then you look at Steve Clifford, he's a guy that's more hard-nosed. He wants you to earn it. He's only going to give minutes to guys that's about winning and trying to get the best out of this team. He's going to have to play other guys more minutes just because Mohamed Bamba is not ready physically and he's not ready skill-wise to really make a big contribution on Orlando just yet. But I was a guy that wanted my Celtics to trade up in the draft so that we can get Mohamed Bamba. I felt like he'd be perfect for the Celtics, a guy that was long and can guard multiple positions, especially the ability to switch. But as a rim protector, I feel like the Celtics has been missing that. I know Al Horford is a guy that's a center. He's great at defense, but I always looked at Al Horford as a power forward, not a legitimate rim protector. And even this season with guys like Enes Kanter and Theis, if they had a guy that was longer and can really anchor your defense and keep people away or make every shot that's by the rim or in a 15 to 17 foot range a little bit tougher. Mohamed Bamba has that athleticism and that wingspan to make the game ugly and muck it up a little bit, and allows you to give something different, but also allows you to have an advantage in the inside, even though he isn't mentally and physically ready for a big role. We know how great of a coach we know how great of a coach Brad Stevens is, and his ability to put guys in the right area, his ability to utilize role players and get the best out of them. I feel like that'd be a perfect spot for a teenage Mohamed Bamba to really get a chance to shine, but also get some playing time and be a difference maker, which we haven't seen him do just yet. In Orlando, this is a guy that's not even getting 20 minutes a game yet. I do understand, just because, like I said, he's not ready yet physically, mentally, and he is going to have a lot of lapses offensively and defensively. He had to learn, but I feel like as a team, the Celtics had better floor spacing, they had better creators, and I feel like he'd be a perfect fit with that type of team. Plus, they're not asking him to be a superstar or an anchor right away, but they can, get the best out of them. And if you look at Orlando and Mohamed Bamba, this is a guy that's just getting 15 minutes, and last year he got 16 minutes. He only shot 5 shots last year. He's doing the same this year. He's not getting that many free throws, almost identical. His free throw percentage is a little higher, but he's going to the free throw line a lot less. And he's getting you 5 rebounds. That's pretty good considering that he's only giving you 15 minutes. And for him to get 5 rebounds, that's productive. But, the thing that made Mohamed Bamba so special was the fact that he had the upside. And I don't really see Orlando using him in a way where he can really shine. I don't see him, being really used in a way where he can become a productive big, just because they have so many guys with size and guys that can play multiple position, even going small, especially with Isaac. It make it seem like they're not going to be able to get the best, like a Celtics team, but they're not able to get the best out of Mohamed Bamba's skill set just yet. But it is only 2 years, so it's not like they have to use Mohamed Bamba and be, prepared right away. It just, a whole lot better when you know what a guy is and you know how you're going to use him as soon as you draft him, instead of trying to use him in the future. So right now, Mama Bamba is really stuck on the bench. His 3-point shooting has, weird his head. We done seen him knock down numerous threes over these last couple of years. It seems like they use him more as a stretch big than a guy that can really be in the paint, which is a little surprising considering that he was developing his outside touch, but never was one of his strong suits. You very rarely see Mohamed Bamba getting a dunk or a layup, which is hilarious considering that, he's a center. With his length and his wingspan, they use him more for spacing than they use him for being around the rim. But I really want to know how they're going to utilize Mohamed Bamba in the future, just because it don't look like it's going to work out with him in Orlando. But I know a lot of teams that would love to take a chance on a guy like Mohamed Bamba, who has that huge upside defensively, and you can get the floor space and also from time to time offensively. And I think that that's going to be something that's going to make him a good target. Is his age, his soft touch, and the fact that he can be a defensive anchor that can really be, defensive player of the year type of player, which isn't crazy just because you look at his body, his mobility, and his athleticism. This is a guy that can keep up with people. This is a guy that can have freakishly long abilities that other players can't get just because they don't have the physical profile or attributes that Mohamed Bamba is. And that's when you look at Orlando, you see all that body every time you see him at the gym, you see him at practice, and you just have to be like, wow, we really got a player like this that has that type of upside. Will he stay in Orlando? Will he develop in Orlando? Will he reach his peak? A lot of young players been in Orlando and they got better after they left Orlando. And I'm not saying that to diss Orlando. I'm just saying it because it's true. And if they want to be able to get the best out of him, they're going to have to play him more than 15 to 16 minutes if they want him to be a big part of their offense and a big part of their future. They're going to have to utilize him just like that. So that way you can, have a situation where you're getting the best out of Mohamed Bamba and he starts to develop and he starts to grow. And then you start to see what he really can do um, at the NBA level as he continues to play. So right now, I don't really see the upside when it comes to playing, but it's hard not to deny that this guy has huge potential to be special. And with him being so young in the NBA, it really gives him a chance to really show his potential to a lot of teams if it don't work out in Orlando. And that could be a way for him to expand his career, or another coach utilizes him in a different way than Clifford, and they can get the best out of him, and he can help them out. And with him being the role that he's in now, he's not going to cost you a lot of money just because he hasn't played that well in those minutes. But also, if he continues to play this well, he's never going to really be worth any amount of money because he's going to be a role player. But if I'm Orlando, I like what I got with Isaac. I like what I got with Mo Bamba, especially in the future when they finally become better offensive players and they finally complement each other defensively. You're going to have a lot of size, a lot of quickness, a lot of athleticism, but you're going to have the ability to really put a behemoth on anybody, anytime, anywhere in the future. And it's going to be ridiculous to score on this Orlando team, especially with Steve Clifford anchoring that defense and getting the best out of this team. Like, I didn't think Orlando had enough talent to be a great defensive team, but by having Steve Clifford, they have lived up to that potential. But just imagine losing Vucevic and putting Mohamed Bamba in that lineup and being able to stretch the floor like Vucevic, but being able to defend centers, power forwards, and small forwards, and being able to disturb and really angle off point guards and shooting guards to your advantage, just because Mo Bamba is that quick and that athletic and his wingspan is so long that he can give up space and, surrender a little space and still being able to block or contest a shot. That can really give this Orlando team a different look and a different style, especially when you look at guys like Markel Fultz and other players that they already have that can be solid defenders or have height advantages at that position really shows you that if this team is very disciplined and very smart and they really have a great game plan that they can implement defensively, Orlando might have a upside that other teams don't have because of their length, their size, and their athleticism. They have that now. Can they develop these players offensively? That's something I want to see, especially with Steve Clifford. He has never been known as an offensive coach. He has never been known, to get the best offensively out of a team. And that's something that either his assistant coach going to have to do, or they're going to have to find a way to keep the way he plays defense, which is Steve Clifford, and hire a different coach that can really get the best out of this team offensively. But let's not worry about that right now. Steve Clifford got this team into the playoffs last year, and they have a good chance of making it again this year. So it's not like they have to rush anything or panic or they going such in the wrong direction that I'm calling them out. I'm just saying Steve Clifford has been known for offense. Steve Clifford don't have the right patience for young players and trying to develop them and trying to be stern on them, but also giving them a chance to make mistakes and play. He's not the best at that, but Orlando, he's given a chance to really work with younger players and really find a way to be stern and at the same time get the best out of them, but also allowing them to play their way. As they get their bumps and bruises, it makes them become better players. But they have the personnel and they have the type of players that you need to build a great defense, and that's why they were one of the top 10 defensive teams. But now it's about, can Steve Clifford develop and get these other young guys to be the players that he needs them to be to become a team that's on another level. Right now, they've been sneaking into the playoffs. The way they got their future set up and the way they have the players that they drafted, plus this year coming up, it does seem like Orlando gonna have a huge chance of even getting better. But it's just about developing these players offensively and making them smart and getting the right game plan to implement with all these guys healthy and being able to do that at the highest level. Can they do that? That's a good question. But they have the personnel, they have the strength, they have the size, they have the length right now, but they still don't have the offense. But they also have guys that are very, very young, under 25, that can still become special two-way players. And if that does happen, Orlando is going to be very scary with guys like Isaac and guys like Bamba and guys like Fultz and guys like Gordon that can play multiple positions, but also give you athleticism and stingy, length and size and speed. This team could be very scary if they develop their players offensively and they continue to grow defensively. And together, watch out for Orlando. But then again, we said that 10 years ago, and now they finally made it back to the playoffs. And now it's about how can they take this team to a championship level like they did a couple 10 years ago with Dwight Howard, who became a defensive anchor for the Magic and becoming a three-time Defensive Player of the Year. The only difference is different personnel, different coach, different philosophy, different type of style, and now they're playing in a new modern NBA where threes are more important. But can they still give you that defense? And can these players evolve enough as young players offensively to give you that two-way ability that they show potential that they could? So let me know what you guys think about Orlando. Let me know what you guys think about Mohamed Bamba. Let me know what you guys think about Steve Clifford. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think they have the two-way player? Do you think a lot of these guys are going to be bust? Or do you think that Steve Clifford can develop and get the best out of these young players while they're still young and still trying to find a way to stay competitive in the Eastern Conference final? Eastern Conference, while also trying to develop these guys. And the harder you try for the playoffs, the less chance you have a top 10 pick, which means they're going to really have to hit on these young players if they really want to be special. And they have that ability because they're showing potential, but now it's about getting it out of them, especially if you can't pick in the top 10 anymore because you're fighting for a top 8 seed in the Eastern Conference. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.